Hi Scorpio, it's Raina. So I have a new feature now where I am doing the general tarot readings twice a month. And I'm doing this because I did ask for some advice about whether I should just scratch the love readings. And I got enough response to say no, enough responses that said no, that make me want to keep those. If you're not interested in love readings that just focus on that, then you don't obviously have to watch. But I was only doing the general readings twice a month. I toyed with the idea of doing them once a week. I'm not really keen on that at this time. I think that's a bit much. Maybe in the future I'll think about it, but for now I think I'll have a happy medium and do them twice a month and not do like just the overall. I have done an October general reading already, so this may be a bit redundant, but hopefully you will like the more immediate kind of reading for a shorter period of time. This will be from the 1st of October until the 16th, where we have the full moon in the sign of Aries. Okay? And I just wanted to say that the full moon and the new moon, you know, using those as kind of like the guideposts is kind of cool, because then you get the influences that they bring to that period of time as well. Oops, that should be over here. For the general readings, it could be about anything that comes up. I'm going to try to focus less on relationships, but already I can see that for some people that may be what this is showing. Obviously, since this is a general reading, it may not be something that all of you kind of feel that it relates to you. So if you'd like a private reading, you can always just click on my website. It's right below this. The link is right below this video. But hopefully something in it will symbolize something that's happening in your life. Okay? So the overall energy is the 6 of Swords, of you kind of like saying, okay, I'm done with something and you're leaving. But it's a choice that you're making for peace. I choose peace. The number 6 represents harmony, okay? It's connected to Venus. So there could definitely be a love association with this situation that you're going away from. But it can just be like, let's say you were in a workplace that was very contentious and you didn't trust anybody there. It was kind of like a snake pit. Then this also would apply and make a lot of sense why you say no. And some of you may have said, yeah, but I got to. I have to stay here because it's a steady job, it pays the bills, and then finally you had enough. Because definitely, since we have this card, this kind of explains it all, the 10 of Swords. This is a card of betrayal and, you know, backstabbing someone. But I should say it's in the final stage. It's like the worst is over now. And so, you know, the number 10 is a completion as well as a new beginning. It reduces to 1. So if you were in that situation where it was like the final straw type of a deal, whether it was in a relationship or whether it was at the workplace, you've decided to move on. And, you know, there's a definite, what can we call it? A definite connection to having a lack of harmony. You know, sometimes you leave a workplace because of pay, but sometimes you can leave because the people there are people that make it hard to work there. What you have going on for you right now is strength. And so you found this strength, and this may have been difficult for you to do this because as a fixed sign, you tend to be very, very persistent and consistent and don't like to make those changes. So that's one of the reasons why that Ten of Swords makes a lot of sense, because it's such a dramatic type of a thing where it might have been so egregious, whatever was done to you, that you finally just said, I've had enough. It can also relate to a person, the Strength card, maybe a Leo, who is, in your life. It might be a new person that you've met, or it could just be that this person is a friend who is helping you get over whatever it is that you need to get over from. Now, because this is a card that crosses you, so this could also relate to fire energy of Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, and it could be a challenging energy. So perhaps the person that you were getting away from is a fire sign, but it could just simply mean that there is a lot of competition going on wherever you are. So if you left one situation due to a similar kind of vibe, you have to be careful not to, go from the frying pan into the fire. So make sure that whatever it is that you're going towards is really not more of the same, because this is drama. But it's also, well, I don't know if I should say drama so much as just people who are like vying for their position. So that may be saying that you don't like that kind of an environment. But on the other hand, if you are not being assertive, then you may replay this situation all over again. So it could be saying that you have a tendency to kind of back away from any challenges, and this is what led you to have that negative experience occurred. So what the bottom line I'm trying to say is that even though I see Scorpios as kind of like very almost fierce when it comes to being competitors, your two ruling planets are Pluto and Mars. I mean, both of those planets are nothing to play around with, but there are all kinds of Scorpios out there, and especially the ones with a lot of other water in their personal points can actually be very meek and mild in a lot of ways. And maybe this point where you realize that you have to take charge, and you may, it might not come naturally to some of you, but you have to do it, and you want to stand up for your own rights and also to promote yourself. Okay, the advice, or I think in this case what is going to come in for you, is some kind of offer, some kind of message that lights your fire, makes you feel like everything is back on track. But not just that everything is back on track, but you're going to be very energized by what you hear. You may have to accept an offer at a moment's notice. So you're going to have to be flexible enough to go with the flow. And it's really the last two cards that I picked, because for the outcome I got the Wheel of Fortune. So it's kind of like, I'm thinking of it in terms of the astrology of the month. And so for the first 2 weeks, we are in the month of October, we're in Libra. Libra is your 12th house. So the sun's there. Jupiter's going to be there until October of 2017, but I don't think that Jupiter in the 12th house is going to have that kind of an unsettling effect. I think it will give you a little bit of divine protection, to be honest with you. What I'm more focused on is some of these other more temporary influences and how they affect the psyche of somebody like a Scorpio who has, for instance, the sun in the 12th house. And so you might be someone who has had to kind of clean out your thoughts, so to speak. And now, as the sun goes into your sign, it's a whole new cycle. It's the Wheel of Fortune. It's turning in your favor. And so all's well that ends well. After the recent challenges that have maybe affected some of you, then you're on the upswing. And I think even though that, this is only for the first 2 weeks in the month, just know, I mean, this outcome might not be for that period of time. It might be for the end of October. But just realize that you will eventually get over the difficulties and things will be not just back to normal, but in a really good place. So Scorpio, I hope you enjoyed this, and I wish you the best for the first half of October. Bye.